And welcome back to the Northeast Florida Surf Fishing Forecast for January 8th through the 10th. This video was taken Thursday afternoon in Jax Beach by the pier. As you can see, the water is nice. There's actually a south wind, south-southeast, about 10 to 12. Surf was probably 3 to 4 foot though. Decent size, but nice water, guys. Nice water. The tide was actually going out again. Got the tides posted at the end of this video so you know which tides to fish. But hopefully the water stays nice. We got a little bit of a wind change coming up. There was one guy fishing. He wasn't catching anything, and it's because he wasn't reaching out far enough. But as you can see on the pier as well, they've added a new section where they're building. They've put in a few more pylons, so slowly but surely they are fixing the pier up. Still be a while, but can't wait. On a day like this, guys, we'd be catching a lot of whiting and sheephead off the end of the pier. But it's coming. Like I said, guys, right now the whiting have been biting decent. Right now we got water temps in Jacksonville area 59 degrees. So it's been holding pretty steady at 59 for a couple of weeks now. We do have some colder, not colder, but pretty steady cooler temps. So that water's really not going to move much. Down in Flagler, around the Flagler area, the water's 64 degrees. So the pompano, if there are any, it'll be scarce. Then you go all the way down to Melbourne, 72 degree water. So you got to look for the pompano south of Flagler and in the Melbourne area, and they'll be there. That 67 degree water is a key water temp to look for. In the end of this video, I have put the website that I use to look at all my water temperatures. Pretty much they have water temps for the entire east coast of Florida, and if you want to go to Georgia, all of that. Many different markers you can use. So it's a really helpful website, and they update it daily. And it's really for surfers, but us fishermen like to know the water temperatures too, because we know what kind of fish are following them. But as far as the Jacksonville and Northeast Florida area right now, whiting are biting. Nassau Sound, they're still catching whiting. Sheephead, drum. Inside Volano Inlet, they're catching whiting. Ponte Vedra, Volano, Little Talbot Island, Hannah Park. There are whiting there. Not huge numbers, but there are some nice fish. Fish bites, fresh shrimp soaked in Diet Pepsi. Seem to be the key. I've still been getting my whiting on the outgoing tide, the lower tides in Ponte Vedra. The high tide hasn't been producing as much, but if that's the only time you can fish, go, guys, because you might get into them. You never know. I can only tell you what I've been doing and the tide I've been catching them on, but that doesn't mean you can't catch them on a different tide. For Friday, we got winds coming in. There's a front coming through as I speak. The winds are going to be west 15 to 30 miles an hour. So the water was nice this afternoon, on Thursday afternoon. So we'll have to see what this west wind, that's pretty strong and it could dirty it up, but if it'll stay, 10 to 15 and doesn't gust as high as they say, it should stay fairly nice and the water should be nice. And then same thing on Saturday, west 10 to 15, and then switching over to the north. It's going to be variable, like northwest to northeast, 5 to 10 on Sunday. So if I was fishing, it would probably be Saturday and Sunday. Even though we have a west wind, and it'll be easy to throw a mile out with that west wind, and it'll knock the surf down. What I have found out when it's gusting, 20 to 30 miles an hour, the real problem becomes is sand blows all over the place and will actually get into your reels. You can see it coming off the sand dunes, and if you fish long enough, you know the damage that sand can do once it gets in your reels. So that's something to think about if you do fish. Maybe get down below the sand dunes where the wind isn't so bad, and like in Ponte Vedra, some areas there, picnic table area and such, there's a pretty steep drop off, and you're actually fishing down below the wind. You won't even know it's windy sometimes until you go up the steps there. But like I said, there are some whiting around. Have not heard of any pompano in this area now in about 2 weeks. The only pompano, actually, I take that back. I've heard of a few pompano caught inside the intercoastal waterway. And that usually happens a couple times every winter in this area. Don't know what they do. They must get locked up in the intercoastal, and they don't want to come back out into the cooler temperatures. But every year it happens. They even catch some on fiddler crabs when they're sheephead fishing at the jetties. And they're usually big ones, 17, 18 inches. But there are still a few drum coming up along the inlets. Redfish, of course. Of course, if you fish in the river, lots of nice trout, yellowmouth trout, speckled trout, float rigs with live shrimp, jigs. The Fish Bites company produces the Dirty Boxer, the little artificial that everybody's been using and killing the fish on. Still a few flounder around in the river, and drum and sheephead. And if you don't know, if you haven't seen the post, the local bait stores finally got some fiddlers in, 10 to 20,000 of them per bait store. So better get some because they won't last long. Everybody's been itching to get out there on the sheephead bite, but they just haven't had the crabs. So now you got crabs, guys. And go get them and go catch some sheephead. Send us some pictures of what you get. If you want pompano, you better get a tank full of gas and head south. Clam, crab knuckles, fish bites, and the fresh shrimp. And remember, 67-degree watermark, and look for clean water. If it's dirty, you probably catch whiting and maybe a few pompano, but the cleaner the better for the pompano. Remember, they're sight feeders. They're in the jack family. They like to see that different colored floats and beads, and they zero in on it. When the pier was open and we were throwing gotchas, trying to catch Spanish and bluefish, we would catch a lot of pompano on the gotcha plugs, the little silver plugs with treble hooks. They are in the jack family, so they will chase lures. So if you're on a pier further south, remember those pompano jigs, the banana jigs, they will absolutely tear them up. And that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully it'll be a good weekend. Be a little bit cooler up here. I think I saw highs in the low 50s and the lows in the 40s. So that water temperature is going to be pretty steady. It's not going to really rise or drop. But there are some whiting around, so hopefully you get a chance to get out and catch some. And we'll have a video up this week. And I've been saying it for a while. I get procrastinating and get busy cutting all my yards and such. But a water temperature video, and we got some other stuff planned too. So if you haven't done it, subscribe, hit the notification button, and don't miss the videos. Until next time, guys, tight lines.